Hey, what's up? Like, totally time for 90210.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the 90210 show. My name is Mark. With me as always is my fiance Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up? I love how I can just, like, look at you and you lose your mind and nobody knows why you're laughing.
You didn't even look at me. You were looking at our equipment. I think that you may have caught the fact that I might have pressed record a little late.
Yeah. Yes, I did. I did catch that.
We're just rolling with it.
So, you know, if you missed part of our intro, it wasn't you.
If you didn't hear the very beginning of it,
that music is important.
or an eerie silence, we got the you saying, "Hey, what's up?"
That's what matters. Yeah.
Totally
Exactly.
time for 90210. or however you sound. But it is totally time for 90210, Carol.
It is that.
Did you say, "Hey, what's up"?
Yes.
Okay, it's it's June 5th,
Twice.
1998.
I said it in the intro and then again.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they caught the "Hey, what's up" in the intro. I don't think I was that late.
No, it wasn't.
Anyway, we watched another episode of 90210 on our tapes
Yeah.
as we rapidly approach our time to try to catch up to the show.
As we rapidly approach the end of season 7.
Yeah, and we're heading into the summer, and this is the summer, the I don't know, month and a half break they take. They do not take much of a break, but that's what gives us the
Any
opportunity
chance
to catch up. Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, so we're trying there. We're trying to get there.
So
The show's going to have to last probably 3 more seasons for us to get there, but hopefully it does.
I don't feel like it's gonna. I feel like it's winding down here.
It really does feel that way.
I mean, like,
Val is a comical villain at this point.
and Kelly and Brandon are together, which is like something I think the show's been working towards since the beginning. When a show accomplishes its goals,
Yeah,
it's time.
That's the end game for them, right?
Right, and Brenda and Dylan are together. They're not here anymore, but they're together. And
They're together
Donna,
in TV Graveland.
right? And Donna and David are together, and she's even talking about, oh, it's not going to be forever.
Right, yeah, I'm going to fuck you soon or whatever.
Right.
Is that going to be the series finale? Is her orgasm?
Oh, my God.
Yes, David!
So crude.
Whatever, thanks for, 7 years, 8 years.
That's gross. And I'm quite sure that Aaron Spelling is not going to put all that time and money into the show
That's
for
the
it to
money,
end like that.
That's the money shot.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so what happens in this episode?
Oh, this episode annoyed me, like all episodes lately annoy me.
Yeah.
In this episode,
No,
Kelly...
Susan. No, Susan. I think she's already been piled.
Susan. Oh, yeah.
You forgot.
Her name wasn't Susan, it was Tracy.
Forgotten her already.
Susan's been in the pile for years.
Which one was Susan?
Or at least a year. Susan Keats was his last girlfriend before Tracy, the one that worked on the paper before.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're all just blending together.
They are. Like, what the fuck? Okay, so Susan Keats. Why did they break up?
Because she moved? No, or did she move because they broke up?
I don't remember. Something about a boyfriend.
Yeah, her ex-boyfriend. Did she go be with her ex-boyfriend? I don't know. She's gone.
Was she gonna, do... But she wasn't the one that had the farm. That was Tracy, right?
Right.
God, they look almost...
No, they do not.
In my brain, they're identical.
Well, they're not identical, trust me.
Right.
I liked Susan a lot more. Anyway.
And she's Andrea, right, too?
What?
They're all Andrea. They're all replacements for Andrea, right?
I mean, I guess.
Susan was like the editor of the paper.
Yeah.
Like she was essentially
Yeah.
Andrea.
Yeah, and then Brandon replaced her. Right?
I don't remember.
I don't. Anyway. Kelly and Brandon.
Remember when that one guy died in a fucking car crash?
Yeah.
Why didn't the angels save him?
It was his time.
It's an acceptable loss.
And it was the student president or something. Which is why Brandon had to be the student president. Because what, proxy? Like, he was there, so he automatically had to replace him. He was the vice president. Oh, shush.
He ran with
Stop with your logic. Come on.
No, yeah, it was just because he was around. The fucking car is a fireball in front of them, and they're like, oh no, who's going to be president? This guy!
Exactly.
He was closest to the president when he was immolated. Anyway, let's go. What happens this episode?
Brandon and Kelly are in the bubble. They have recently gotten back together, and they have gone into the couple bubble where people hang out, just the two of them, all the time for, like, I don't know, weeks, months, depends on the couple.
The couple.
And everybody's getting pissed.
Yeah.
Especially Kelly's roommates.
We open up on them in bed together. Mm-hmm. She's like, so are we together again? He's like, yeah.
Like, yeah, we just fucked, so yeah.
And then Valerie's waking up pissed.
And she hears
and
them
depressed.
through the wall.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they were actually having sex like I thought they were, but then Kelly just showed up looking, like, perfectly put together, like, 5 minutes later, so I'm thinking, no.
Yeah.
Maybe they were wrestling.
Maybe he's just... Mommy's hurting daddy. Maybe he's just really fast.
Maybe. But, you know, Steve notices Valerie's in a bad mood. And he's like, you know, be happy for them.
He's all happy. He's like, they're back together. Yay. My ex-girlfriend and my best friend fucking 90 yards from me. Yay.
Right? Yeah, this show is very unrealistic.
And it really is.
And, like, Valerie, like, why? I mean, she didn't see them together before. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's why she's not as excited as Steve. But, I mean, like, she also hates Kelly.
Yeah. Well, they have a deep-seated rivalry. That's why I think this would be better if it was Brenda. If instead of... I like Tiffany Amber Thiessen, obviously. Mm-hmm. All you listeners know that. But if she had never come on the show and they had kept Shannon Doherty and Kelly and Brenda's relationship deteriorated to them being, I mean, kind of like real life, I guess, to where they were antagonists like they are. And they had that history behind them. And then she's with her brother and there's more jealousy there. There'd be more depth and stuff to all this.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see your point there. Okay, so I'm just trying to think about where we want to go now.
Okay,
we've got...
Go any direction you want, Carol. You're the pilot.
Well, I guess we'll talk about the roommates.
I'm just your co-pilot. Okay, roommates.
So Claire and Donna are, like, whiny and sad because Kelly's not around. It's weird, and I don't think that's very accurate to life either. Like,
oh yeah, they're like, oh hey, it's you're still alive.
Yeah, that's exactly that. That's a perfect impersonation.
Verbatim dialogue.
But I mean, like, you know, whatever. They're her friends, so you'd think they'd just be happy for her.
And they're like, oh, you're gonna be home tonight, though, right? And she's like, oh, for what? And they go the gymnastics competition
which
we're watching on TV, the national finals,
which is apparently a big tradition in their apartment. What?
Although later we hear that Kelly doesn't like it.
Okay,
she doesn't like gymnastics.
She
tells that clandestinely to Brandon.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't like it either. Looks boring.
Yeah, you don't like women that look like 12-year-old boys rolling around on bars.
No, we gotta pass on that.
But it turns out Valerie loves gymnastics.
But does she? Because
she was in gymnastics when she was a kid.
That doesn't really fit her story.
How fast did she develop? Like, I mean, that's the thing too. So, like, not to be weird or whatever, but like, that's why those gymnastics girls always have the similar body type. Very low body fat, very little in the way of curves. The curves make it a lot harder, like massively harder. To do.
Those curves make it harder.
They do, yes. But to do the things that they do, the gymnastics things they do, it's a lot more difficult.
Well, yeah, I did a little tiny bit of gymnastics and dance and stuff when I was a little girl.
Yeah, like 5 or something like that.
8.
Okay.
And
Before you developed a year later.
Exactly. I laid on my stomach and I could like lean my head back and touch my head and my feet.
Yeah.
I could make a circle with my body. It was pretty cool.
Wow, you'll have to show me that later.
I can't do it anymore.
Oh, we'll see.
That's the whole point. But yeah, so Valerie like invites her, well, doesn't invite. She talks about how fun their evening sounds while they're whining about how Kelly's blowing them off and not going to be there.
Right. And she's like, David, you're on your own tonight. I got to watch this.
Right.
And she's like, now I just need to figure out where to watch it. I don't really have a place to watch it because Kelly and Brandon are taking over the TV in my house. And they were like, okay, we get the hit, Val.
Well, I mean, they looked happy about it. They didn't look annoyed like I would be.
No. People over at my house?
The woman owns a business. Like, buy yourself a TV or go watch it in the bar or something. I don't know. It's just weird.
She wants her plan is obviously to separate them.
Yeah, to infiltrate her friend group.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like it gets even better though. Like all she wanted to do was like kind of replace Kelly and get in good with them. So she brings champagne, which is the only thing that would make this interesting. And then she pretends to be fall down fucking drunk from some champagne. Like this girl can throw down. Come on. They're like, oh, Val, you can't go anywhere. And she's like, oh, well, I'll just sleep in Kelly's room because she's not using it. Like, what? I mean...
We've got a couch, Val.
Yeah, that would not be... You don't invite yourself to sleep in somebody else's bed.
No. What is she, Goldilocks?
Right? And they're all just like, oh, sure, whatever. Mm-hmm. So she wears her clothes and sleeps in her bed and reads her diary.
When she says wears her clothes, she means she puts on Kelly's clothes.
Yeah, what did you think I meant?
Well, it could sound like she's wearing her own clothes to bed.
Oh, no, Kelly's clothes. The fucked up thing to do.
Yeah, she puts on Kelly's clothes and reads her diary.
Like, yeah, she saw she had a diary when she went in her room and snooped earlier, and then she's just like, oh, I've got to stay here and look through her shit.
In her defense...
There is no defense.
That she wasn't snooping earlier. They asked her to get markers, which were in Kelly's room.
Okay, but the black book that is her diary did not contain markers or look like it contained markers.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just like she was wrong for that.
She was snooping.
I'm just saying she didn't go in there explicitly to snoop.
But we can't even be totally mad at her for going in there snooping because Kelly went into Valerie's room and Valerie wasn't there and snooped in her shit.
Yeah, she did. It was weird.
And admitted it. Brandon's like, what are you doing in here? Oh, just snooping.
Yep.
But you caught me, so I'll stop. Basically.
And he was like, well, I like your vagina now, so I won't get mad at you about it.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Why? I don't understand why they're so, like, obsessed with each other, these girls.
I don't know. They should just kiss and get it over with.
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
Are you sure?
I mean, that would be hot. But yes.
So, yeah, she reads her diary and sleeps in her bed and eats her porridge. And the next morning, I think it's the next morning, right? Or is it... Oh, well, the next morning, Kelly comes back from her date with Brandon, and she's like, oh, what's up? Are you wearing my shirt?
Yeah, she looks incredibly violated, which, you know, I think anyone would feel.
And she's like, oh, sorry. And they're like, well, she drank a lot. We didn't want her... She's like, you didn't want me to drive home, did you, Kelly? And she's like, no, it's fine. And she invites them all for a nice dinner that she's going to cook because her and Brandon feel bad or guilty or whatever that they've been spending all this time with each other. How long is it supposed to have been? It has to be like a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, they were still discussing whether or not they're really back together.
Yeah, so it couldn't have been that long. But they're going to make, Kelly's going to make all their favorites. I don't know if this is like a choose your own adventure meal or what. Like, I don't know what that means, but
well,
some of them have favorite sides.
She's inviting. Okay, there's Donna and David and Claire and Steve and Brandon and Valerie and Kelly. Yeah. So that's 7 people. That is a lot of favorites.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do some of them share?
I don't know.
Right? Like, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess Donna's favorite is champagne.
Right? Oh, she loves that champagne. David missed out. He wasn't there when they were putting the champagne away.
Exactly. But anyway, so she invites Valerie too. She's like, "Oh, I want you to come too." I'm like, she's reaching out an olive branch to her, and she was like, "Oh, okay."
Which was very nice of her because, I mean, truly, as much as she hates her, it'd be kind of weird to not invite her with everybody else coming, and it's in their house where Valerie lives.
Right.
Please come to dinner. I'm cooking in your house.
But anyway, so the girls go out somewhere else. They invite Valerie again. Well, this time Valerie
aerobics.
Aerobics. This time Valerie does kind of invite herself. She's like, "Hey, can I join you?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, that'd be great." So they go do aerobics. So we have a brief scene of dumb jazzercise with the 3 of these girls.
It was no good.
And then afterwards, they're in the spa and talking. And she's like, Valerie's just like, "Oh, hey, guess what? Guess what, Claire? Kelly thinks you're obsessed with your hair, and you're a fucking freak."
I mean, okay, she's a little smarter than that, and I don't remember what she did. She was trying to get them to talk shit about Kelly. Like, she's talking shit about Kelly and trying to get them to do it too. And they're like, "We're not going to talk about our friend." And she's like, "Well, she has no problem talking about you."
Yeah. And they're like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Well, she says you're obsessed with your hair, and Donna, you're obsessed with school."
What a terrible thing to be obsessed with.
It's just like, it's the lamest, dumb, like, petty things she's writing in her diary.
Yeah, what a boring diary.
But, so she says, and they're like, "Well, what, did she tell you this stuff?" And she goes, "No, I read it in her diary." She fully admits. She's like, "No, I just read it in her diary." And they're like, "What? That's not okay." And she's like, "Oh, it was just there and it was open. I just looked at a couple pages."
It was not open, by the way.
No, it wasn't.
She read it cover to cover.
And that's the best she had, by the way.
Right?
Not fucking Claire fucking a prince or Donna being sexually withholding or, I don't know, like a prissy rich girl.
What now?
What?
Get it together, man. Yeah. No, it's awful. Like, Kelly must be a pretty good person to
more than we've seen on the show.
Right, for her to not have some more dirt to use against her.
Yeah.
But whatever. Weird. They get mad because of the stuff she tells them. Mm-hmm. And they blow off the dinner.
Yeah.
So, and then, and the boys are at some, like, car show or something.
The boys. Yeah, right? They're at, like, a green car event or something like that. They're all environmentally friendly cars. Like, they're mostly electronic cars.
So it's Steve and Brandon are there. David...
They're Matchbox cars.
David's at the bar. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, they want to ride...
David's there.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But they want to ride this electric car. And Steve...
like it's a fucking toy.
What?
They want to ride this electric car. They want to drive the car.
And Steve bribes this dude who's in charge of the car. I really don't understand the situation that occurred here.
I guess the guy, there's a contest to get a test drive of the car, I think.
Okay.
And he's bribing them, or a test drive, or a contest to win the car, but they want to test drive it first, or something. But he's like, "Yeah, we want to, like, here's like $100 or whatever.
Yeah,
here's some 20s.
We want to win this contest
because we want to test drive the car."
So he's like, "Okay, meet me at this place at this time later." So instead of being like, "Yeah, okay, I'll make sure you win the car," he's like, "Meet me in this sketchy place," and they do. Now, you've already shown you're a rich dude. You could be setting yourself up to be mugged, but whatever.
Or murdered.
Right? But he is there. He is there with the car. He gives them the keys, he gives them the code, and he leaves.
Well, he's like, he gets out and he tells him the code, the 5-digit code or whatever to get into the car. But he's there and they're like, oh, hey, time for that test. He's like, what? He acts like he doesn't remember. And they were like, yeah, we talked about doing the test drive. He's like, oh, yeah, right. Here's the code. Here's the keys. And then walks away.
It was very weird. Like, I wouldn't have gone on the ride, I don't think.
It's not a ride. What are you talking about? It's not a fucking roller coaster. It's not. It's an automobile.
I am taking my niece and nephew to Cedar Point later this week. And I guess my brain's in ride mode. Anyway.
Jeez, please.
I wouldn't have gotten in the car.
Okay.
Would you?
No, I would have liked to have taken a ride.
You mean driven the car?
I don't know. I don't know if I would have or not. But Brandon's all in a tizzy because he has a appointment to keep.
Yeah.
With Dom DeLuise.
Oh my god, yeah. Because of this
special guest star, Dom DeLuise.
This is so stupid. To me, this is a stupid storyline. I mean, it's sweet or whatever, but... Yeah.
He should have been Captain Chaos from the see they had a car and they had Dom DeLuise in a fucking car in the episode, and they had Burt Reynolds in another episode. They couldn't do a fucking cannonball run thing. Do you know the cannonball run?
No.
Oh man,
I was just laughing to be polite.
You gotta watch the Cannonball. So we're gonna have to go rent Cannonball Run.
Okay, you'll have to enlighten me.
Yeah, it's a shitty movie.
Well, great. Let's watch more of those because we haven't watched enough of those lately.
But I love it.
You just wait for tomorrow's episode, people.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Who's tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay, well, sure.
Whatever. Anyway. You're confusing me.
You're confusing me because I'm trying to figure out what you think tomorrow's episode is going to be. Because if you think it's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, we did that last week.
So never mind. You already know. Shitty movie.
We already recorded that film.
Holy shit. So, well, Kelly and Brandon are in their couple bubble.
What?
They're
couple bubble?
They're couple bubble.
Couple bubble.
They
were watching The Truman Show, just to let you know.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Okay. Anyway.
We're going to go see that tomorrow in the theater.
Woot woot. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say something here, man.
Couple bubble.
Yeah. They see some stupid thing about puppets that Kelly's like, hey, let's stop scrolling through the channels and watch these puppets.
I like puppets. One of the puppets bites the other puppet on the nose. Brandon's
horrified.
Scandalized about it. Did that puppet just bite that puppet in the nose? Like it's fucking Gwyneth Paltrow's head at the end of Seven or something like that.
It was fucked up though. Those were some creepy ass puppets.
Well, it is weird to be flipping around channels.
I feel like
and then to get to a station that's showing a black void of a background with just two puppets barely in frame, fighting with each other, biting each other's noses, and then hugging. Yeah, that would be fucking weird.
I would think it was a fever dream or an acid trip.
I would think that I had woken up in another dimension.
Right?
Wait, is everyone in this dimension puppets but me?
Well, especially because Kelly stops there. Like, that's it's like, you might stop and be like, well, that's fucked up and move on. But no. She's like, oh, puppets, yay. Oh, my God. So she explains why she loves puppets.
Right.
That there's this old kids show where this
Syphil and Ollie.
Is that what it was called?
No, Syphil and Ollie is a I don't think it was supposed to be. It's obviously not supposed to be Syphil and Ollie, but I think Syphil and Ollie is a show on MTV where it's a late night show on MTV, but it's puppets.
Okay,
and that's I don't know. It's funny. I like it.
Alrighty. Weird. So yeah. So
it's new-ish.
She watched
Syphil and Ollie show. What
the fuck? You're gonna have to show me this shit later.
Oh yeah. This is a good get high and watch it show.
Anyway, Kelly tells him a story about how she loved this show, and this guy had a magic wand, and she wanted.
He's got a magic wand, Brandon. I can't stop thinking.
Not that kind of wand. She was a little girl, you dirty man. She wanted his wand.
Is like, yes, I have a magic wand.
She wanted.
But first, I'm going to eat pizza. He's always eating something.
He was. Yeah,
this is not a fat joke. Dom DeLuise is a bigger guy, but he's in everything I've ever seen him in. He's eating something.
He was eating here too.
Yeah, he had a chip. It's like a requirement for him.
Right.
If I'm going to be in a scene, I need food. But
she's like, I wanted his wand because
we're fucking writing 90210 fan fiction. We're doing this.
Because I wanted to wave it over my parents and make them love each other.
Shower them. Love juice.
That's what she said.
Yeah. I know, it was sad. It's a lot sadder than the ridiculousness.
We're just making it wrong. But Brandon's like, I'm going to get you that wand.
Instead of not telling her
a
surprise, he's like, expect it.
I'm going to do it for you, baby. So she's like, really? I don't think you can. He's like, oh, I can do it. I'll just go in my pile of bodies. But anyways, so yeah, he has an appointment with Dom DeLuise later to get her the wand. Yeah. So he's in a hurry.
He's supposed to be like a TV magician. His name's Mort something, or Mort the Magician or something like that. He's supposed to be some kind of TV magician. It's not actually Dom DeLuise.
Right.
They're not supposed to be.
So Brandon and Steve are in this weird test drive situation, and they get pulled over by not one.
Testuation.
But 2 cop cars. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're speeding and a cop car is pulling you over, that's normal.
Sure.
If you're probably not even breaking any rules and 2 cop cars pull you over, that's shit your pants time.
Well, what the funniest thing is, the cop pops out of the car, draws his gun,
right,
and it's like, get out of the car! And Brandon goes, I don't think this is a traffic violation.
So calm.
Calm as can be.
Rich white guy.
Yeah, exactly. No fear at all of being shot by the cops.
It's Beverly Hills. I mean,
oh my God.
I'd almost have to laugh at the cop for acting like that.
Really? Okay. You're more
in Beverly Hills.
You're more chill than I am.
Well, I mean, no, if somebody's pointing a gun at me, I'm going to piss myself. But I'm just saying, if I were Brandon.
But yeah, so it turns out that the guy, and we kind of see this in a scene before, the guy's gotten fired from his job, so he was just like, fuck it, and gave this car away. Like, I don't know what he was thinking. He was thinking like, oh, they'll just get away with it. Like, that's obviously not going to happen.
He didn't care, obviously, one way or another. But yeah, the company that owns the car reported it stolen.
It's like a $40,000 car or something like that.
So they're arrested for grand theft auto.
Yeah.
And it's not the first time that these 2 men have been arrested. I believe they were boys when they were arrested before.
Yeah.
But remember there was the hot girls or whatever?
Yeah.
Stole their car?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, they didn't get arrested. The girls got arrested. Right? I don't remember now.
I love you. I loved you figuring that out.
Shit.
As we went along.
It is the first time they were getting arrested.
Because I remembered what happened.
But
I loved you. Your realization moment was worth it, though. They were in a police station about a stolen car. They were on the other side of it.
Right. But so they're arrested, and the museum is sending somebody like to ID them or whatever. It's so weird. Like, why do you need an ID? They were in the stolen car.
Uh-huh.
But whatever.
Nat makes this big deal. The reason he gets the magician's number is because Nat knows him.
Okay.
I don't know if he said he's a friend of Burt Reynolds.
Maybe.
Because they're friends in real life.
Okay.
And they were in that Cannonball Run movie together. But, yeah, for whatever reason, he's like, he knows him. And he makes this big deal about, don't be late. You won't get a second chance. He hates when people are late and everything. And so Brandon is late. He doesn't go to the dinner. None of them do. The dinner's ruined because the girls don't want to go, and Valerie's protesting too with them, and the guys get arrested.
And David has to go bail them out.
Yeah. David was following along in their car because the plan was for them to tool around for a few minutes. Then David was going to pick up, Brandon, take him to the place he needed to go, and then Steve could take the car back and they'd come and get him.
They had a whole conversation about this? Wow.
Yeah.
I must have zoned out from the boringness of their details.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, yeah.
In this scene, planning.
So they get released because they didn't steal the car. Somehow that comes to light.
They talked to the guy that got fired. And he was like, oh, yeah, I gave it to him. Apparently nothing happens to him. I don't know. You are super fired.
So, yeah. Brandon goes to this guy's house like hours late to get the wand.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, you didn't show up for me. I'm eating chips.
It's like, answer my riddles 3. No, he does. He gives him a really hard time. But he's
pissed off because he's like, I'm not important or whatever, right? And but it's funny because Nat brings it up, but all it does is create that minor conflict and nothing else. Like, he doesn't have to do anything additionally or anything like that to be able to get the wand. It's just a minor hiccup.
Well, and it's revealed when he explains the whole story to this guy, he must be a soft heart because Kelly believes that her father did not send away for the wand when he told her he did when she was little.
Yeah. He was like, it must have gotten lost in the mail or whatever. And she's like, yeah, he didn't fucking send for it because he's a loser.
But this guy found the paperwork where her dad wrote a letter requesting a wand for his daughter, Kelly.
Yeah.
And so
because he kept everything, apparently. He's a fucking pack rat.
And I'm sure it didn't take any time at all to go through and find that. It's kind of unbelievable.
Yeah.
But whatever. Like, angels exist, so.
Thousands of letters over the years.
Right. But Brandon shows up with not just the wand, but the letter.
Yeah.
So Kelly's all like, oh, Daddy loves me, and everything's happy. And then Valerie is pissed because also all of them band together and decide to make a nice brunch for Kelly to make up for missing her dinner. They decide to forgive her. And Valerie is like, fuck this bullshit. And she stole one of Kelly's dad's business cards out of her diary, which is
in the
weird.
Diary. Yeah.
And goes up to her room and calls him. And that's the end of the episode.
Well, she calls the company.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, I'm a friend of her daughter, of his daughter, Kelly Taylor's, and I want to invest in the company.
So, yeah. So she's going to do some shit. I think she's going to try to sleep with her dad. Because, I mean, you use what's available to you, right? And she does not have money to invest in the company.
That's what's available to her, yeah. I don't get I mean, I guess maybe that's it. She's going to try to fuck Kelly's dad, which is really messed up, but hilarious. But I don't know if I don't know what else she could be trying to do. Like, destroy his company? Like, I don't know.
Who the fuck knows?
Be like, hey, your daughter says you don't love her or whatever. Like, is she going to try to get into his head? Turn him against her? Like, I don't know. It's weird.
She is some kind of cartoonish villain now. It's awful.
I know. It's so dumb. She had an actual, like, kind of emotional arc 4 episodes ago where she was raped by her dad, who then blew his brains out. And we go from the seriousness of that to...
Right.
Like you said, when they make the dinner for Kelly, or the brunch for Kelly, and she goes back to her room all dejected... You go foiled again. That is the exact energy that they have with her fucking character.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing. But I think that is all that happened.
That is all that happened. That's all the news that's fit to print.
That is 90210 this week. So you can write us at latefee1994@AOL.com.
Yep.
And check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.